Hi, I'm still Kinga, and I'm still talking about the law of attraction, manifestation and visualization, and all the different techniques and processes that I personally use in order to change my life and start a new chapter from scratch. I come across an Abraham quote the other day which says, "You are not the thinker of the thought, you are the receiver of it." So let me say it again. You are not the thinker of the thought, but you are the receiver of it. And I think it's so deep. And I wanted to elaborate on that, and I wanted to tell you what I think creative ideas are, where they come from, how we can get more, like an easier access to them, how we can get more and more creative ideas, business ideas, or even answers to our questions. But now I really have to go to work, so you have to come and follow me. To be honest, whenever I get a new creative idea, an inspiration for a new business, or a solution to a problem, I'm never totally sure if it comes from me, physical me, or from a higher intelligence. Is it something that comes to my mind but is born out of my physical experiences, knowledge, and desires? Or is it a divine hint or a message from above trying to lead me to a direction I'm supposed to go to? Abraham said somewhere that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you think the source is for the idea. And Abraham meant it in a way that it doesn't matter because it's all the same thing. If you think of it as something that comes from above, it still comes from you. There is this sort of a separation between that divine, infinite intelligence and you, but both are you. There is the vibrational and the physical you. And the physically focused, flesh and blood you is an extension of the bigger picture. The bigger you, the vibrational you, which is the real, original version of you, the one that never dies, the higher self, the source energy. And you, being part of it, can communicate with it. You can open up yourself and let those ideas flow to you. You can tune in and receive ideas, inspirations, thoughts, words, feelings, pictures, answers to your questions, whatever. And if you examine your creative ideas and how they pop up in your head the next time they do, and where they want to take you and how they make you feel, you might as well start to doubt that they just popped up in your head out of nowhere. I think for me, the proof of the fact that they come from above and I'm just a receiver here is that whenever I get a new creative idea, I feel joy and excitement, so much excitement it's hard to contain myself. Also, I know that the idea is serving me and my life or others, and it has good intentions, and they normally come when I'm in this flow state, like it's either because I have quieted my mind or I'm just feeling generally happy, satisfied, and at ease about life. Therefore, I'm open to receiving thoughts and inspirations. My good friend, or let's say adopted brother, Jason, who's always full of business ideas, like you literally cannot come up with something that he hasn't thought of before, told me the other day that he wishes he had this spiritual connection or the tools to communicate with the higher self like I do. I told him that the only thing he has to do apart from being open to it is maybe meditate. But then I realized, wait a second. This guy is constantly receiving ideas, great ideas. His mind cannot stop. I actually think that it means he's so tuned in, so connected to source, his higher being, that he's constantly downloading information, or at least he has the capacity for it. And what is that if not being connected and spiritual? He's not actively hunting for or thinking of ideas, like creative people don't have to do that. We just hear something and we turn our attention to it for a second and then we just let it in. It's more like if the idea comes to us and we just happen to be open enough to hear it. And this is where I remembered my favorite author and my Bible for creative living, Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic, where she writes about how she imagines ideas and where they come from. I'm going to have to read it because Elizabeth has her medical ways with words and I would just totally ruin it if I tried to sum it up myself. So here it comes. I believe that our planet is inhabited not only by animals and plants and bacteria and viruses, but also by ideas. Ideas are a disembodied energetic life form. They are completely separate from us, but capable of interacting with us. Ideas have no material body, but they do have consciousness, and they most certainly have will. Ideas are driven by the single impulse to be made manifest. And the only way an idea can be made manifest in our world is through collaboration with a human partner. It is only through a human's efforts that an idea can be escorted out of the ether and into the realm of the actual. Therefore, ideas spend eternity swirling around us, searching for available and willing human partners. I'm talking about all ideas here: artistic, scientific, industrial, commercial, ethical, religious, political. And when an idea thinks it has found somebody, say you, who might be able to bring it into the world, the idea will pay you a visit. It will try to get your attention. Mostly, you will not notice. This is likely because you're so consumed by your own dramas, anxieties, distractions, insecurities, and duties that you aren't receptive to inspiration. You might miss the signal because you're watching TV or shopping or brooding over how angry you are at somebody or pondering your failures and mistakes or just generally really busy. The idea will try to wave you down, perhaps for a few moments, perhaps for a few months, perhaps even for a few years. But when it finally realizes that you're oblivious to its message, it will move on to someone else. But sometimes, rarely but magnificently, there comes a day when you're open and relaxed enough to actually receive something. Your defenses might slacken and your anxieties might ease, and then the magic can slip through. The idea, sensing your openness, will start to do its work on you. It will send a universe of physical and emotional signals of inspiration. The chills up the arms, the hair standing up on the back of the neck, the nervous stomach, the buzzy thoughts, that feeling of falling into love or obsession. And when Liz is describing the feeling of receiving a creative idea or inspiration, I have to agree. It's the closest feeling to falling in love, for me at least. And Abraham refers to that same feeling as being in alignment with your higher self. That is when your heart fills with abundant bliss. And in this flow state, when you are truly in sync with your higher self, there's no vibrational discord or there's no gap between you and you. I guess that this state of being creates a direct channel to higher consciousness or infinite intelligence, and you don't only get the idea that wants to manifest, but you also get the inspirations on how to execute or implement it. Liz also writes that when the idea knocks on your door, you have two options: to say no or yes to it. If you say no to it, it will look for someone else. If you say yes, you officially enter into a contract with inspiration, where she says the best way to approach it is to cooperate fully, humbly, and joyfully with inspiration. I also think it's a partnership, where none of you owns or rules the other. It is truly a great collaboration between this divine energy and a human. Does this all sound foreign to you? Is it something you've never experienced? I doubt. But if you're looking to receive creative ideas and you find yourself struggling, if you want to find this connection where inspiration can flow to you, new business ideas can find you, I suggest you do the following. Find a quiet space at home, or even better in nature, where you can just focus on your breath, quiet your mind, and establish a connection to your higher self. With one word, meditate. You can also listen to a guided meditation with headphones on if you don't know how to do it by yourself. The creative or business idea will not necessarily come to you during this meditation. But if you do this every day, it will open you up. It will make you more receptive or more sensitive to inspiration. For me personally, I get the most and my best ideas when I'm traveling, and the scenery I'm looking at is in constant motion. Like when sitting on a bus and looking out of the window, or even while driving on the highway or motorway, where I don't have to concentrate on the traffic lights, signs, and cars stopping in front of me, where it's just an easy, almost unconscious, automated process, where my focus is not on the driving, yet I'm still there if I have to react, but the change of scenery and the calming effect of effortless driving always puts me in a mental state where I'm allowing ideas to flow to me. I feel that something opens up in me and I get direct access to downloading things. It also works for me if I meditate and I ask for an idea or a solution to a problem or a new direction. And again, it doesn't always come right then during the meditation, but I can tell you that the idea or the answer to my question will definitely pay a visit in the next day or two by popping up in my head or through interacting with others. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes the idea can be so strong and so stubborn that it will try to talk to you through other people. For example, once I had a business idea coming to me. It was really exciting, but for some reason I put it on hold. Then the idea revisited me a couple of days or weeks later. I remember I quickly got into this meditative state and I was asking my higher self, to send me a sign on what my next project or business should be. And after the meditation, I went to call my mum for something, and something strange happened because she normally picks up the phone by saying, "Hi, how you doing?" But this time, the first thing that she says is, "Kinga, what about the business idea you spoke about a couple of days ago?" Yeah, she referred to the same one. Then I went on with my day and I went to deliver some products to a business partner where the girls asked me the same thing when I stepped in. "Kinga, what about that idea of yours? We would love to support it." So, if an idea picks you as its next human partner or collaborator, just be ready. Be ready to be reminded of it. Be ready to be given signs to turn your attention to it. Just be ready. If you want a more intimate content and daily communication, please go and join my Facebook group called Kinga Kramer and Friends.